Really serious and something that is happening right here in America, in your communities, and in your backyard. It is the child sex trafficking, child sex trade. And it is one of the largest industries on the planet. It is insane. And I remember years ago when I first heard about this, I was like, huh, that's not true. We don't have slaves, today, right? Um, but as I learned more about it and I became friends with someone who actually organizes sting operations to go out and rescue these children that are being trafficked all over the world, I began to pay more attention to it and I began to see the statistics. And these are truly horrifying. So when we talk about, cults and this and that and the other, it is nothing compared to what is going on right now all over the world and right here in America. The statistics say that at least 50,000 people a year are trafficked in America, um, around the world, and that's a year, right? I'm not talking about the people that we're talking about the people that get brought in every year, right? And a lot of these kids, a lot of kids are trafficked right out of homes. Foster homes is a big place where they recruit kids. During COVID, there's been a lot more effort at recruiting because this is one of the biggest ways that these criminals make money. The sale of humans has surpassed the international arms trade. Okay. It is $150 billion industry. $99 billion of that is in the sex trade. We're not talking about illegal prostitution like we have in Las Vegas or in Amsterdam. Okay. We are talking about people who are kidnapped and children who are kidnapped and who are forced into the sex slavery, right? These kids, my friend organizes sting operations around the world to rescue these kids. He's rescued, I think, around up to 4,000 children. And these are the youngest are that they've rescued is 3 years old. 3 years old. The average age of young, especially girls, 98% of children in the sex trade are girls, but there are still a lot of young boys. Average age is 12 to 14 years old, where they're sold into sex slavery. Okay, we are not talking about, um, you know, legalized prostitution. We are talking about actual slavery. We're talking about kids kept in cages, chained to beds, sold for sex 10 times a day. This is the kind of shit we're talking about. It is horrific and it needs to be stopped. I'll read you some of the statistics from the website. You can go to a website. It's called the Child Liberation Foundation. These are friends of mine who focus on supporting and funding efforts to rescue these kids and efforts to get them out. They say, the crazy thing is, like, why is this not on the news every day? Why is this not the biggest news? That we have the largest slavery happening in history is happening today during the 400 years of the transatlantic slave trade, right? They say that between 10 to 12 million Africans were brought over in that slave trade. Okay, that was in 400 years. Today, right now, we have more than that number currently enslaved. Children currently enslaved. There's over 40 million victims of human trafficking globally today, 25% of which are children. A child is sold for sex approximately 20 to 30 times per day. Trafficking has surpassed the illegal sale of arms, and it's expected to surpass the sale of drugs in the next year. Why is that? Because you sell drugs once and it's gone, right? The product is consumed. They can sell a child 10 times a day. Over 51% of the criminal trafficking cases in the US were sex trafficking cases involving only children. It is the second largest criminal enterprise in the world, generating over $150 billion. Why is this not like the biggest news? We have, these statistics for COVID being like, oh, this many people got COVID, this many people died from COVID, right? We have these leaderboards showing this stuff. Why do we not have it showing human trafficking and slavery? It's insane. People have been making movies about this, they've been making documentaries about this, and they're hardly seen. We're covering this up, and I don't know why. Someone I know made a documentary about how it happens right here in America, how kids are being solicited and prepped from churches, from schools, from malls. This is happening right here. The guy who was making the documentary had his daughter get solicited while he was making the documentary, his young teenage daughter. And before he started working on it, he didn't realize it was an issue. It was only because he was actually working on this documentary at the time that he realized what was happening and what to do. Your kids are not safe. You think that a cult is going to come and get them, okay? There are way fewer cults and way fewer people in cults than there are in this massive industry, which has exploded in the last years. So this is what I would challenge you to do. Go and find these documentaries that teach you what to watch out for. Have them shown at your PTA meetings, have them shown in your churches, have them shown in your youth groups, right? Like, show these kids what is happening. Show them what to watch out for, what to protect themselves for. Show the parents. Educate yourself. This is happening in your backyard. This is not something that just happens in the Middle East or in, Southeast Asia. This is happening right here in America. Kids are being stolen, kidnapped from homes, from foster homes. They're being prepped long before that by social media, by, literally people contacting them when they're out. Predators in churches. I'm not kidding you. This is going on. Find the documentaries that teach you about this. Educate yourself, educate your children. Promote that you need to be showing this in your schools, at PTA meetings, right? Anywhere you can. Get the information you can to protect yourself. Fathers, mothers, stand up. Stop this. This is horrific. This is the largest slave trade in the history of the world is happening right now, today. And we don't even hear about it. We barely hear about it. Just like now in the news, occasionally we say, oh, this sex trafficking case. Epstein, okay? Who is supporting this stuff? Wealthy people, politicians. This is who is supporting this. This is not something that the world governments don't know about, right? Why is this not on our news every day? Why are we not showing statistics? Why is this not the biggest news when we have 40 million people that are in this industry, that are being trafficked as slaves? Huge percent of them as sex slaves, right? It's terrifying. It's terrifying. And how many people really know that much about it? How many of you actually pay attention and know what's going on? So this is what I challenge you today. Go find the movies, find the documentaries, go look up online, find organizations that are helping this. Children's Liberation Foundation, they created a movie called The Sound of Freedom. Try to get that shown in your universities, in your cinemas. Bring that movie in. There was another great movie that was made years ago called Trafficked. It's horrific, but watch it, okay? Because it's showing how they pull these young kids right out of foster homes here in the US. There's a documentary. I've got to remember the name of the documentary. I got to look up the guy who made it. But there are documentaries about how People are being trafficked and children are being solicited right here in America in churches and schools and in online and in malls. Okay? Find the documentary, show it to your groups, show it to your kids, and make sure people are educated. Protect each other and protect your loved ones. This is not a small thing. This is one of the biggest criminal industries in the world, the second largest, and it is expected to surpass the drug trade. Think about that. Millions and millions of people in actual real slavery. Okay, we're not talking about poorly paid domestic workers. We're talking about actual slavery, locked up, chained, in cages, in containers, right? Kept in ways that they cannot escape. And this is happening to the most vulnerable in our society. So educate yourself, educate other people. I mean, this is something we should all be able to get behind. I don't care what your political beliefs are. The protection of children and ending child sex trafficking and the slave trade that's happening all over the world should be something that every single human can get behind and can support and can stand up to stop. That is what I want to say today. I know it's not as encouraging and it's not as uplifting as what I normally try to talk about, but this is a very real threat. This is happening all over the world. Watch these movies. Educate yourself. Don't look away. Looking away, what do they say? That evil succeeds when good men do nothing. Good women, good people. When we do nothing, when we blind ourselves to what is actually going on, that is how evil succeeds. And it can come after your kids. Don't think that it is something that just happens to other people. Like I said, the man making this documentary experienced someone coming after his daughter while he was making the documentary. It's happening everywhere. Get out there, educate yourself, start educating others, create a wave. Create a wave. That's what I got to say today. I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope that this will inspire you to go figure out what's going on. Because when I first heard about it, I didn't really believe it was possible. I didn't think that it was possible, really, that it was that bad or it was happening like that. I mean, I remember hearing about it years ago. People were saying, oh, this is going on. I was like, really? Now I know. Now I've seen it, and the statistics are horrifying. And it's not just statistics. These are real, small, tiny humans being locked up and chained and abused. So go and figure this out. Stop it. Advocate for it in your communities. Advocate to stop it. Advocate to get this education out to people. That's what I got to say today. All right. Pick up the mantle. Pick up the sword. Pick up the torch. Go after it. This is something that you can do something about. You can at least get people educated about it. You can post about it. You can post links to the documentaries about it. You can do something. Okay? You can donate to the organizations that are trying to stop it. There are lots of organizations out there, but they need funding. It costs about $2,000. My friend organizes raids internationally, sting operations to rescue these children. He says it costs about $2,000 per kid to rescue them, to rescue a kid. So that's not that much to end their life of torment and sexual slavery. Get out there and figure out who's doing it and help them. That's what I can say today. All right. I will talk to you tomorrow.